Hello guys and welcome back to Between the Ropes TV. Now, as we all know, we released our preview yesterday and it is the Canelo Bivol fight week. But there's been a lot of talk on social media, on various other channels about a prime Canelo and a prime Floyd Mayweather. As we all know, Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo. That's his sole defeat. However, at the time, I think it's more than fair to say Canelo, early 20s, on his way up, wasn't, I don't want to say a man yet because that sounds harsh, but he wasn't the finished article, far from it, in fact. Whereas Floyd Mayweather was possibly just past the peak of his powers, but it's Floyd Mayweather we're talking about, so that's some peak, isn't it? He was still an absolutely brilliant fighter. And that gets us to, if the Canelo that, as I said on the preview, for me, he has almost an air of invincibility about him. Everything he does is done with such quality and class. If he faced a prime Floyd Mayweather, who comes out on top? Now, for me, there's various ways we can break it down. You look at records, obviously, Mayweather famously retired 50-0 with 27 stoppages. Most of those did come in the sort of first half of his career, to be fair. As he got older, we know he had his hand issues and it changed his style. He was less aggressive, fought more defensively. But for me, massive respect to him, because if you watch some of Mayweather's early fights where he was the aggressor, it makes it all the more impressive, the style that he developed as his career went on, because it was totally different and he was brilliant at both. And I think that really is probably the best sort of testament you can pay to just how talented Floyd Mayweather was. You compare that with Canelo. Now, Canelo's still only 31 years of age, remember, but he's 57, one defeat, and obviously he's had the two draws with 39 stoppages. So, I think it's no secret here. Canelo would be the puncher. He's heavy-handed. His strength in general and timing is what it causes everyday problems. Look at Sergey Kovalev. Now, again, people will say Kovalev over the mountain, but the timing of that knockout is what caused it. It was just perfect. And in that fight, Canelo was waiting the whole fight to get Kovalev there. As Kovalev started to tire, bang, all over. And I think not just Floyd Mayweather, but that the timing and speed and power that Canelo possesses would give any fighter of any era a problem, because it's seriously impressive. And then you compare Mayweather's strengths. Obviously, as time wore on, probably the best defensive fighter ever, possibly that there ever will be as well. But he also had his speed, and his accuracy and timing was also good. So a lot of the strengths, they sort of match up, which is, again, if it could happen, it's really intriguing, isn't it? And then, you look at wider achievements. Obviously, we both know they've got all the money. Both probably the biggest financial draw in boxing of their respective eras. And fair play to Canelo, because he was a massive draw when he got the Mayweather fight at such a young age. Obviously, once with Golden Boy Promotions, now obviously he's best friends with Eddie Hearn in their pajamas together. But Mayweather, 5-weight world champion, which is very, very impressive. Canelo's only a 4-weight world champion, but for me, and I'm not being a Canelo fanboy, not deliberately, the weights that Canelo's done it at, for me, is possibly more impressive. He's gone from light middleweight at 154 pounds right through to light heavyweight at 175, and that's obviously where he's looking to sort of reign supreme again against Dimitri Bivol this weekend. So I would personally tip that one towards Canelo. And then resumes. Now, this could be a very, very long video if we were to go through their whole resumes. But, on Mayweather's likes of Ricky Hatton, Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, Marcus Maidana, Juan Manuel Marquez, Zab Judah, Arturo Gotti. And, the list really does go on. So don't put in the comments, oh, you've missed so-and-so, because I know I have. And then you got Canelo's, Golovkin, first one in particular, disputed decision, but looks like we're going to see the trilogy anyway. Obviously, Callum Smith, Danny Jacobs, Billy Joe Saunders, Liam Smith, Amir Khan. And then, it's a couple of names that they share. Miguel Cotto, big name. Shane Mosley, again, the argument would be for Canelo that Mosley was past his best when he fought him, but still. And obviously, they both also fought Carlos Baldomir. These are all world champions on their resumes, and they've both got such fantastic resumes that it would be the fight of just the finest margins for me. It really would be. It just depend on what you want. And also, if you're talking about a prime, which Floyd Mayweather turns up? Canelo has established this very, very dominant style, but if Floyd Mayweather can be the aggressor, be on the front foot, but then revert back to defense, I'm not saying Canelo's one-dimensional because he's really not, but it's sort of Mayweather has arguably perfected both styles over his career. So it's a very interesting one. Personally, I think a prime Mayweather would win. I think the man was just an absolute genius. He truly was. But I want to hear what you guys think. So let us know in the comment section who wins this fight and why. If you are still with us, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.